A funny thing happened to me on the way to recording this summary. I, didn't actually record it. Instead sat around stuffing my face with tortilla chips until I realized that, oh, oops, a whole week went by and now chapter 301 is out. What are you going to do now, Tsunayoshi? The answer is, incidentally, finish stuffing my face with chips and then finally get off my ass to record this. So without further ado, Reborn reaches epic chapter number 300. The chapter starts off with creepy old toothless blind dude retreating into the deepest sanctums of random European-styled castle in Japan to begin his epic reparations on the Bongla rings. Though you'd, think he's hosting his own version of Dr. Phil for jewelry here from the way he sits Primo's ring down on the couch and tells it, Primo, the enemy is Shimon. How does that make you feel? Don't hold back now. You need to learn to talk things out if you want to work through your problems. Meanwhile, the boys are upstairs moping about how their new BFFs for life just tried to kill them. And you really have to hand it to the Shimon family. They're the only opponents in Reborn who have truly taken the shonen manga tenet of happy, sparkly, rainbow-shitty unicorn friendship and used it to thoroughly mindfuck our gallant Bongla heroes. Love it or hate it, you kinda have to admit that it's pretty clever. And Byakuran, bless his dearly departed soul, might have been able to learn a thing or two from the kid rolling around on the riverbank in his underpants. And it so happens that the aforementioned kid on the riverbank in underpants is the one who surprised butt-fucked everyone the hardest because he was, and I quote, such a quiet, nice kid, who ended up being the boss of the Shimon family. Of course, the way that sentence begins, you really could have ended it any number of ways, like, he was such a quiet, nice kid, who ended up being an axe murderer, or, he was such a quiet, nice kid, who ended up bending your mother over the kitchen table and giving it to her rough. Or, he was such a quiet, nice kid, who ended up trying to smuggle cocaine out of the country by hiding it inside of a puppy. Reborn sits the kids down and gives it to them straight. You guys are the heroes of a shonen manga and they're the bad guys. BFFs for life or not, you guys are gonna have to beat them without hesitation. By fighting them. Not by playing children's card games. Tuna is less stirred by Reborn's tough talking and more spurred on by the fact that, well, there has to have been some kind of mistake. I had to have missed some sort of letter, or some sort of declaration of love. I might have stood Enma up when I promised to kiss him under Cinderella's castle on Christmas Day. I have to clear things up so we can't lose, okay, guys? The others are moved by their boss's almost clairvoyant insight and determined to dish out a serious beatdown in the inevitable fight that lies ahead. Reborn thinks that the kids are ready to kick ass and take names, but the real test of their resolve has yet to occur. Cue creepy old toothless blind dude who appears with a set of stones for the Bongla Guardians. Their task? To carefully choose one so they can evolve their Eevee into Flareon, Vaporeon, or Jolteon. Oh, wait, wrong fandom. Backing up a second there. Soon and the others take one look at the rocks and despair latches onto them like alien face suckers. Those are the Bongla rings? Suna asks. They look lifeless. He must have failed. Creepy old toothless blind dude will have none of their Debbie Downer attitudes and swiftly interjects. They haven't failed in upgrading the rings. Yet. It's up to Tuna and his guardians to awaken the spirit of the rings. By grunting like cavemen before yelling at them a whole fucking lot! Okay. Except, the first round of screaming isn't enough, and if they don't give it their all, their rings are doomed to perish, so you have to scream louder while thinking about panty shots and cripples. Okay, anyways. The rocks, brimming with the power of fresh squeezed manliness, begin to crumble away, revealing the true forms of the rings held within. But surprise! They're not rings at all! Introducing the Buckle of the Storm, the Bangle of the Sun, the Bracelet of the Clouds, magically teleported from creepy toothless blind dude's carton into Hibari's waiting hands, and the Ring of the Sky. And now that the Bongla Rangers look like they just raided a Hot Topic, they're totally ready to go show that emo little earthbender who's boss. Now, if you ask me, for the 300th chapter of a popular shonen manga, Reborn Chapter 300 was pretty uneventful. Personally, if Amano really wanted to give us the exciting, heart-pounding, non-stop action chapter that a milestone like 300 begs for, she should have added at least half a dozen explosions, more manly screaming, and werewolves to the mix, on top of having every member of the Bongla under 40 naked for the entire chapter for absolutely no reason at all. But that's just me, and there's probably a reason I'm not the one being published in Shonen Jump right now. In tangentially related news, I was at my neighborhood Japanese bookstore last week to pick up the issue of Jump that published Chapter 298. You know, the one with the really attractive color spread where the Bongla rings broke? Yeah, that one. Guess what I found inside that issue? This ad, which, in a nutshell, advertises that this September they're going to be selling the primo upgraded Bongla rings in a Japanese gashapon machine nearest you for the low, low price of 200 yen. Taste the irony. Basu out.